cool and cold swinging and missing a lot of his pitches. 156 batting average against him, 246 slugging percentage. He's allowed a total of 5 extra base hits against him this year on the mound. Hey, by the way, he has 29 swinging the bat. 60.3% whiff percentage versus his splitter. That's 34 strikeouts, 2 for 49. That is a devastating pitch. When he gets ahead with his fastball, he's able to do that same plane with his splitter, get a lot of swing and misses. Slider and curveball really good too, but that splitter is the most dominant pitch in baseball today.
Cool guy number 1B is the third member of our broadcast team, Jose Mota. Jose, he's in the lineup, and he let him know through Ipe, his translator, late last night, I want to hit and I want to pitch. The bat's in there.
Is that cool, too? I mean, we're talking about perhaps, you guys were just talking about the same guy I'm talking about here. You guys talking about the mound. Let's talk about a little hitting about this cool guy who seems to just impress us more and more each time he's on display in the batter's box. Shohei Ohtani with a Land Rover. Yes, above and beyond Shohei Ohtani. 5th in home runs in the MLB with 15. 5th in extra bases, 29. 111 total bases. Beyond that, Darren, come on now. He's also clutch. How about men in scoring position? 409 average with an OPS over 1,400. Well, I think that makes him super cool. But you know one thing, too? The Angels need every ounce of Shohei Ohtani because against the Mariners, they're playing good baseball. They need to be slowed down.
When we come back, we'll hang with the cool guy. There's somebody you got to want to impress out there, that guy or that gal. Hang out with us. You'll be able to do it tonight. It's the Angels. It's the Mariners, and it's cool.
Mike Trout. People know he's one of the greatest players this game's ever seen.
Meet Mike Trout.
Can run.
He's watching MLB Network.
He's one of the nicest people you're ever going to meet.
Because that's what baseball fans do.
And he's also got tremendous show hair with his hat off.
Hey, Uncle Dan.
Zach, go ahead.
So, what's your approach after a bad show?
A bad show? You think I had a bad show?
Well, you flubbed 2 lines in the intro segment. How did you feel about that?
How did I feel? Next question.
Okay. What was on your mind when...
What was on my mind? Boy, I hope my nephew Zach doesn't ask any dumb questions.
The analyst of MLB Tonight, answering baseball's toughest questions. Only on MLB Network.
Kevin Millar and Stephen Nelson promise to bring you all the fun from around the league.
Pinky promise. And you know, and these can't be broken.
Intentional Talk, only on MLB Network.
And it falls in. And that's a strikeout. To the warning track, it's out of here. He struck him out swinging. And he lines one. It's gone.
Home runs bobblehead being celebrated tonight, and certainly a huge celebration tonight. Shohei Ohtani makes his way out to the bump, and he gets ready to go against the Seattle Mariners. We'll share their lineup in just a moment, but first, his 8th start of the year, an ERA of 2.72, a nice clean whip, base paths, 1.24 walks and hits per innings pitched. And as Gooby said, righties and lefties, neither one hitting against him. 156. Go-tos, please.
My go-tos for Shohei to have a really good game against the Seattle offense today is that lower zone fastball command. That sets up all his secondary pitches, and it's secondary domination with both his splitter, slider, curveball. 41 strikeouts combined, 0.48 batting average versus those three pitches, all set up by that lower zone fastball command.
My guess is when you get that many swings and misses from a split, you engage hitters early in the count. Am I correct in that?
You have to do that, especially if you're able to throw this fastball at lower zone. He can still run his four-seam fastball upstairs, but if they're tracking that lower zone with a fastball, a lot of those pitches are very similar speed. Especially his splitter, when he's on top of that pitch, it's going to be about 90, 91 miles an hour. He'll get a lot of swings and chases with it.
On a rare occasion, the Mariners will see a slow curveball, but not very many. Maybe 5 out of 100 as we take a look at how they will stack. Gold Glover J.P. Crawford, Mitch Haniger having a great season. Kyle Seager had a good night last night with a couple of hits, double and a homer. Ty France, a wonderful story. Jake Fraley, just a pest. I mean, I don't know what else to say. He walks, he hits homers. Well, hit his first last night, but very patient. Jared Kelnick, new to this game, but a top prospect in the game. Catcher Tom Murphy, Taylor Trammell out of Georgia, and Donovan Walton out of Oklahoma State. That's the lineup as put together by Scott Service.
Birthday today, as a matter of fact, for Scott Service.
Outstanding. Happy birthday, Mr. Service. Defensively, Upton, who will bat lead off again. Lagares and Rojas in the outfield. On the infield, Rendon, the ever so steady David Fletcher. Keen Wong gets the start with Jared Walsh over at first. Suzuki works behind the plate. Kurt working with Shohei Ohtani. The Bart brothers, if you will, go back to work at home.
And Walsh has been really good when you look at his fielding percentage, that zone rating and range factor. He's one of the tops in the game. He's able to get to baseball as well. He's got a great throwing arm. Good to see him getting a chance to play every single day at first base. One of the best in the game. It's improved since his rookie season. All those metrics have gone up for Jared Walsh.
That's a cool thing, and we'll take a look at that throughout the season because the more chances, the more games, that deepens. It's going to be an interesting study on who he is defensively. Our eyes tell us he's very good. He'll even be better in the lineup when he gets his bodyguard back, Mike Trout. And obviously Trout bobblehead night tonight. Good to have him back inside of the dugout, supporting his team where they need support. And here we go. It's a Shohei night, folks. You're hanging with us. A Friday at the Yard. Ubi, Jose, and I glad to have you with us. And we're underway with the fastball that misses away. 1-0 the count.
And you wonder how patient Seattle will be against with all these left-handed batters in the lineup. 17 of the 86 batters, left-handed batters Shohei has faced, he has walked this season. So patience going to be tested here for Shohei.
Ready, driven, right field, well struck. Rojas looks up. J.P. Crawford announces his presence. 1-0 Mariners. 3 home runs on the year.
Well, his numbers this year, he continues to put up huge numbers against the Angels with those 3 hits last night. Now a home run here today. He is 9 for 16 with a home run and 4 RBIs.
About as simple as it comes, folks. A fastball, he took it for ball 1. The fastball, this one, he crushed it.
If you think of batting average against Shohei this year, and we talked about how dominant he is in his secondary pitches, 266 versus fastball. It's the 4th home run he's allowed. All 4 home runs he's allowed this year by left-handed batters, all on his fastball.
And left-handers have that higher slugging percentage, nearly 100 points higher, but it's still very low. Coming in at 292. Mitch Haniger takes strike 1. Slugging close to 540 on the year. Big power guy for this team. Slow breaking ball hovers in there. 0-2 the count. The slider about 81, maybe 82. The curveball into the 70-mile-an-hour range. That one's 77 miles an hour. Like a spacecraft landing as it came to the plate. 0-2. Stays high. Splitter kind of fluttered in there, didn't dive.
Yeah, it usually happens early in the game for Shohei until he gets a better feel for that splitter going forward.
Athletic, and he works out of the stretch. That's something that's unique. There it is. Oh my goodness. That waited until the very last moment to take a dive, didn't it, folks?
It's good to see Shohei bounce right back after a home run by J.B. Crawford. Right back with a splitter that was nasty. And a chase and a swing and miss against a guy who along with J.B. Crawford, great numbers career-wise against the Angels.
Kyle Seager doubled. He homered last night. Starting to see the baseball pretty well. On base percentage this year under 300 though. Fastball 0-1 the count. 92 miles an hour for that fastball.
And you'll see a lot of first pitch swinging against Shohei Ohtani. If you're a hitter, you don't want to deal with the secondary pitches. You're hoping first pitch fastball. And this is the .267 batting average versus first pitch.
Tried to show him a split. It stayed high. Strike one's important for Shohei. Opponents, if he jumps ahead 0-1 on base percentage, the rest of the at bat 200 against him. Should he miss and it's 1-0, that at bat goes on to a 423 on base. So strike one, like all pitchers, but especially for him, very important. 94 miles an hour. And forgive us, we'll velo watch tonight. Gooby, it's been a story for him, keeping an eye on his velocity.
Yeah, the last game out, 94.5 miles per hour average velocity, up from 91.3 the game before. So still, it's a work in progress, getting better feel for his fastball and command with that. You're going to see some upper 90s tonight.
Split-fingered fastball. Oh, my. Strike three.
Hey, you never want to give up a leadoff home run. But Shohei Ohtani, he's so used to soft contact. This 5 extra base hits against him this year. That kind of a swing by J.B. Crawford could wake you up. And since that point, 2 strikeouts. It's a pretty good splitter again. That's 2 more strikeouts with a splitter. Now 36 on the season.
San Diego State Aztec tie France. Takes a fastball, lifts it left side. 0-1 the count. It's about 20 rows deep behind the Angels dugout.
So another first pitch swing.
I'm somewhat surprised, one metric when we study him and prepare to watch him work. Percentage of swings of pitches in the zone is 62%. That's 5% below league average. You would think that if it's near the plate, you're swinging, especially early. 1-1 the count, but maybe that's why he's dominated those. Let me just get a feel and take a pitch or two. That's not a good idea.
No, you don't want to deal with a slider, curve, and especially his splitter.
The other part about that zone swing is as he steps off, the zone contact rate is about 7 out of 10. League average is more than 8 out of 10. So you may swing when it's in the zone, doesn't mean you'll hit it. Breaking ball misses outside. 2-1 the count. You have to go back 3 starts for what the numbers tell us was his best start. Maybe one of the best of his career. Gooby can comment on that. In Houston, 7 innings, 10 strikeouts. Just 1 run allowed.
Well, he had every pitch working that day. His fastball was great. He got a lot of swing and miss with his fastball splitter. We know how good that is. And his slider was good, and a curveball. I still remember we threw to Martin Maldonado a curveball. That a 73-mile-an-hour curveball, a swing and miss on. That was an excellent pitch by him.
You and Matt with the call of that game. It was one of those games that you just couldn't look away for a moment. You didn't want to miss a moment of that game. You felt it could be a no-hitter. Swing and a miss over the top of another. Split-fingered fastball. My goodness, that came out, and it cut like a knife, that splitter. But J.P. Crawford sent the first shot over the bow with a homer.
Nerds. Oh, thanks. Let's go. I can.
No, I got it.
Sweet unholy cobalt. Is Brad's card better than mine? Better sign-up bonus? Better travel perks? Is that how Brad took that trip to Barcelona? Wait, Barcelona? Barcelona?
Steve, I got it on NerdWallet.
Ah. You said all that out loud.
Want a better credit card? We've got you. From the best rates to the best rewards, for all your credit card questions, turn to the nerds.
When we started our company, we simply wanted better sheets. But along the way, we realized that softer, safer, organic cotton does so much more for the planet and for humanity. It helps your home become a force for good, because home is more than just an address. Home is our soul. Boll & Branch, organic sheets, bath, and home. Right now, try for 30 nights risk-free and get free shipping at bollandbranch.com.
Up to the top of the order he goes, where his on base 343, and a nice little run for him. Right behind him is Shohei. Then it's Rendon, Walsh, and Suzuki. Rojas with the final three of Lagares, Wong, and David Fletcher batting ninth. Robert Duggar is who they will deal with, the Texas Tech alum, who was a big-time relief pitcher in college, has had a bumpy road in the major leagues, but he's here for a reason. They believe in this arm, looking for his first major league win, 10 starts overall, an ERA over 7 in the big leagues. Tell us his go-to.
Yeah, my go-to is have success against him. He doesn't throw a ton of fastballs, but you got to be ready to crush his fastball. 360 batting average, a couple home runs versus fastball, and lay off those non-strike breaking balls. He will throw a lot. Now, 58% of his pitches are breakables. That means his slider and curve. When he throws one of those into strike zone, that's when you can hit him and do some damage. But make sure you don't chase.
Looking out at a big shift defensively is leadoff hitter Justin Upton. Seager, Crawford, Walton, all on the left side bunched up. And the first pitch of fastball. As Gooby said, he is less than 4 out of 10 pitches are fastballs. Now he'll throw a 2-seamer and a 4-seamer, but not a ton.
It's more of a show pitch to set up his slider and curve.
There's the curveball. It's a good one. 1-1 the count to Upton. Boy, things get a little bit crazy, if you will, if you start talking about show pitch with Shohei on deck, show time. A lot of shows there. Just letting you know early, be careful. Swing and a miss. 1-2 the count. If anyone can handle it, it's you.
It's all about the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Been in the show a long time, my friend.
Yes.
There's the other show. Hey, Ohtani. Last couple of times out, it's been relief appearance, it's been start, then relief appearance. That's tough too. And I understand you have to earn the right to start every 5th day or 6th day, depending on who your team is. But it's hard to find your touch and feel if it's 2 innings out of the pen, then a start, 2 innings out of the pen.
It is difficult because your pitchers are all routine oriented. And if you don't have your routine as a starter, then you change up to a guy in the bullpen when you're back and forth, it's more difficult.
Middle round draft pick when he was grabbed out of Texas Tech. Justin disinterested in that pitch. 3-2 the count.
And Upton hits breakables pretty far. He can crush them.
As a leadoff hitter, 343 on base percentage for Justin. And that's going up.
Here's tonight's Hyundai key for the game tonight. Going little Thomas Rhett, star of the show. Shohei Ohtani starring on the mound and batting number 2 in the lineup. A chance to give himself a lead right away here in the bottom of the 1st inning. It's another show for you, Darren.
Well done. Had a tough night last night. He did not enjoy his evening against Justice Sheffield, who had his number. It was breaking ball after breaking ball, and those feet were moving around. Today, a new day for Ohtani, as he takes a changeup that dives low, 1-0.
It's left-handed batters this year. Duggar will throw a lot of fastballs in a 1-0 count. See if Shohei's ready for a fastball, maybe away.
Another changeup. Good take, 2-0 the count. Ohtani hits it hard, but right into that defense. There's one on the first. It's a double play. Crawford had moved to the other side of the bag. He flipped it to Seager. And frustrating there, but that's shifting defensively. That's a base hit. As we look at Trammell, Kelnick, Fraley. There's the men involved. Crawford, Seager, and France in that double play with Walton at second.
And this Crawford he won a Gold Glove last season, second Mariner shortstop ever. Omar Vizquel won one in 1993, and just before that pitch was made on a 2-0 count, Crawford, they moved the infield and shifted more so on the 2-0 count than they were earlier in the count. The ball was hit hard by Shohei, but right at him for a double play ball.
111 miles an hour. That's how firm it was struck. 111. And a double play. Here's Anthony Rendon.
Well, the crazy thing, if he gets that pitch 1-0, that's going to be a base hit. Because they moved as the pitch came about. They knew they were probably going to have to go with a fastball. A chance that Shohei would pull that.
Interesting. You're right. They went changeup, ball one, ball two, fastball right into the defense. I'm trying to fight sitting in this chair, really ever saying again, well, that would have been a base hit if, because things evolve, and the way defense is set up now, that's the game. It's evolving, it's changing. So
and you got to give a lot of credit to the infielders. They're moving on certain counts. That's not easy to do. I mean, they were literally still moving when that baseball was hit, including Seager, who had to get that throw to second base to complete a double play.
0-2 pitches high to Anthony Rendon. 306 on base, 3 home runs on the year. 4 hits since the calendar flipped to June. Lifts that one back of short, shallow left. Trammell about 5 steps in and puts that one to bed. A leadoff walk to Justin, but the inning is cleaned up. Shohei back to work on the mound.
Nerds. Have new money goals this year? NerdWallet can help make them happen. Like getting auto insurance to match your new 0-mile commute? We have tools for that. Want to refinance your mortgage and put those savings into the college fund? We have tips for that too. Or get a low-interest credit card for your long-awaited honeymoon? We can help you find the one. Credit card, that is. Discover and compare the smartest credit cards, mortgage lenders, and more on NerdWallet. For all your money questions, turn to the nerds.
Looking for dinner made easy? Move over meal prep and make way for pre-chopped and pre-portioned ingredients. Hit the road hard to follow recipes and say hello to easy breezy meals. Peace out, pile of dishes, and welcome easy cleanup. Well, hello there, Home Chef. Home Chef oven ready meals, pre-chopped and pre-portioned recipes without the prep or mess. Get $90 off your first month at homechef.com. Home Chef, delicious meat simple.
At Warby Parker, we know that one frame isn't going to fit every face. That's why we make glasses in a range of widths, from extra narrow to extra wide. Wow! And everything in between. Try these. With more options than ever before, it's never been easier to find your perfect pair. More frames, more widths, better fits. Try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com.
the first inning, leadoff homer, then 3 punch-outs. So, controlling their running game, Seattle Mariners, 27 stolen bases, but only 6 caught stealing. They're 7th in the American League. And then you guys were talking about a different way of pitching. How about 17 ground balls, 13 fly balls his last 3 starts? That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's kind of a stunning number, too. That means, again, as we've talked about, he's adapting. As Jake Fraley's going to be a fun study. He's engaged early. Strike 1.
Well, he's trying to lift, again, a low fastball. Then you have a shot as the at-bat progresses, a fastball up around his hands.
Buried that one in.
It's 95 late. You get him to chase. He's very patient at the plate. You get him to chase a splitter now. He's got 3 strikeouts on a splitter already.
Incredibly patient last night. Incredibly patient all year. He put him away with the fastball, elevated fastball. Struck him out on 3 pitches.
I really like that. Attacking him right away, not wasting pitches. 95 with his fastball upstairs. You saw that swing on the first fastball. He was trying to lift it. Difficult to have that type of launch angle on a fastball upstairs, and got it by him. Good pitch, good sequence by Suzuki and Ohtani.
Booby, that takes me to his pitches per inning average. It's pretty amazing. Only at 16 pitches per inning. That is, as you mentioned, putting somebody away when he's ahead. That's pretty economical for a power pitcher.
A slow breaking ball called high. Pretty good pitch. 1-0 the count to Jared Kelenic. It's been a tough baptism by fire in the big leagues for the top prospect. One of the top prospects in baseball, certainly in the Mariners organization. Puts that one on the ground, playing it on a backhand.
It's a nice job by Shohei. He knew exactly where his defense was set up behind him. He just let that baseball get through back up the middle. Wong right there, make the play on a ground out.
When the Angels do shift, they'll move David Fletcher, shortstop, in between that traditional second base position and the first baseman. So that's why Wong back behind the bag, not Fletch. He'll come plug that hole in between.
And through the first 20 pitches, guys, no quick step yet, nor quick pitch from Shohei Ohtani. And every time Joe Mann has a chance to talk about it, he emphasizes how important that is for Shohei to catch up with that arm. Everything's been a high leg kick so far.
Gets a high strike to Tom Murphy.
It's another hitter for Seattle that really has had success against the Angels. And some power numbers too. He's a .350 with 6 career home runs hitter against the Angels. Tom Murphy.
He's a masher. There's no doubt. There's offensively, he'll tell you, there's a lot of goals I probably haven't reached, but the one thing he will do is hammer a mistake. Mid-major college baseball guy out of Buffalo. Not a school you think of when you think of baseball, but will they produce this big leaguer? 2-1 the count. Now, Jose's making a couple of great points. First of all, ground balls. Second of all, economic innings, which is an evolution from early in the year. And gosh, I think most importantly, why rush to the plate when there's no one on? Why even think about it? Let that arm get up top. I understand the quick step. I understand maybe the deception, but I don't know that deception is needed, is it?
No, not when there's no one on base. I mean, at this point, you get that good balance. Here's an opportunity to get on top of a slider now. Or you can go with your splitter.
If you go back to the last start, he used that slide step a lot. Nobody on. It didn't matter.
The 2-2. Fastball outside corner, strike 3. 96 miles an hour from the right arm of Shohei Ohtani. That's 5 strikeouts.
Hey Al, during tonight's show, what was that meatball you threw?
Meatball? That was a hitting demonstration, and that's what I was supposed to do.
Right.
Next question.
The analyst of MLB Tonight, answering baseball's toughest questions.
Hey Harold, how do you prepare for a big show?
Well, I just try to stay positive. Take it one show at a time and treat it just like any other show.
How do you feel about the other analysts you work with?
It's a great group of guys. We're all on the same page. I'm just happy to be here.
What's your prediction for the season?
We'll see what happens. It all comes down to execution in the studio.
The pro player answers. He's still got it.
The analyst of MLB Tonight, answering baseball's toughest questions on MLB Network.
That's a big league bucket hat. I love moments like that at the yard. Celebrate the return to full capacity at the Big A on June 17th against the Tigers. Now listen closely. For half price, I said half price ticket, visit angels.com/reopen. Use promo code REOPEN. Thank you. Take advantage. Do your thing. Half price.
Half price?
Half price.
Nice.
A lot of great family moments tonight. Jared Walsh, Kurt Suzuki, Jose Rojas for these Angels. Their man on the mound made a mistake, certainly, and it was crushed by J.P. Crawford, but there's been a lot of ownage of the Mariners since then.
We'd just like to see some offensive support for Shohei Ohtani. It's been tough. He hasn't got a ton of it. It's the guy right here that can get a run right away with a swing of the bat. 13 home runs, is crushed. Right-handed pitching, .627 slugging percentage versus right-handed pitchers.
Last week and a half for Walsh, it's been damage. 8 hits, so the overall average not dramatically high, but a slugging of .595 as he takes a slow curveball that hits the black. Of his 8 hits, the last 8, 4 have been homers, 2 have been doubles, including last night. The top 50 with regard to exit velocity in all of baseball last year. Diving play with the shift on, hopping back up, fired off the front of that dugout. Great effort. He was shifted on around. Seager made a nice diving stop, but Walsh, that's a single.
It's one of those ones too. Once you go down and you dive like that, you're better off just holding on to the baseball. There's no way you're throwing out Walsh, but he tried to get right on the throw. Showing some pretty good range right back up the middle of the dive by the former Gold Glove winner, and in a high throw. Fortunate enough it didn't go into the dugout. Otherwise Walsh is in scoring position, but some good range for Seager. Almost playing shortstop like his brother does.
Make sure that shoulder's still intact. Here's Kurt Suzuki. 17 hits on the year, one of them a homer, as he takes a fastball for a strike. Sun heading on down for the evening. One of the more beautiful shots at this pretty yard. Down the line it goes. It's a souvenir. So, Jose Mota, when you take a look at this man on the mound, what are your thoughts?
Looking at his mound presence, also men on base. He's allowed 1 stolen base in 20 games in his career, covering 63 in the 3rd innings now. That's pretty amazing, considering, obviously, that the running game has disappeared. Sometimes it's not amazing, but runners in scoring position, he's had some issues. 385, 1323 OPS against Duggar. Can really control that running game. Pretty impressive.
interesting, Jose's point, Gooby, because when you throw a ton of secondary pitches, it's hard to control the running game.
Yeah, you got to hold the baseball. You got to have a pretty quick move. But even with all those sliders and curveballs and even changeups, it's pretty quick to the plate. I always believe as a right-handed pitcher, when you have the glove set up in that chest area, you have a better chance of being quicker. So you get the baseball out of your glove quicker and then work downhill. Sometimes you have guys set their glove around their waist and they bring their hands up, and then you go in a throwing position. It's a little longer as far as your times to the plate.
There used to be a time, Darren, when we would look at that number and go, okay, who were his catchers then, right? Let's see. How did he benefit from the guys behind the plate? But it's been a plethora of guys he's thrown to allow that one stolen base so far in his career.
Well, I feel like the last generation, that narrative's changed. And I think it's deservedly so. I think great catchers need their due for being good game callers and having big arms and having quick feet, but maybe I'm wrong. The responsibility falls on the pitcher.
Absolutely.
You have to hold the ball, you have to be quick to the plate, you have to know who's going to potentially steal against you, throw over you, step off. Step off is a great tool to stop a running game.
Well, that fastball boring in. So at 90, again, 90 miles an hour, when you're thinking to yourself, here comes a slider, here comes a changeup, here comes a curveball, that 90 has a little bit more teeth when it gets to the plate if you're looking for something else.
Yeah, but when you face a guy like this too, especially throws a lot of breaking balls, you're more apt, even though it's difficult to steal against. He's not a difficult guy to put a hit and run against, though. And with Rojas at the plate, he handles the bat well. Walsh runs good enough that a hit and run would be a good option for Joe Maddon. And he wore that shirt today, even on the pregame show. Play like it's 1985, so maybe a hit and run may be part of the game plan here tonight against Duggar.
Where's 1985, Gooby? What happened to it?
Need it.
Yes. 1985 needs to be present against every opponent. I'm not saying every game, but every opponent has to feel that pressure, especially without number 27 in the lineup.
1-0 the count on Jose Rojas. (2-0) the count on the local product. Who on the trip had a pretty tough go of it. Saw plenty of playing time, but was 1 of 16 with a walk and 6 strikeouts.
You know, as we're talking hit and runs, there was a time when some players would ask the manager, hey, you know what? I need to see the ball a little bit better. Put a hit and run on. Get me back on track. It makes you stay on the ball longer. And obviously you got to pick the right guy, somebody who's around the plate. But it used to be a tool utilized by many managers. Remember, Ron Gardner was excellent with this, getting some players out of slumps by putting on more hit and runs.
This is definitely the count. You see a lot of hit and runs. 2-1 with 1 out. It's an action count. See if the Angels are on the move here. Joe was thinking that pitch was low.
That one was. And the count is 3-1. He had some words from Mark Carlson. Jeremy Riggs is the first base umpire. Jordan Baker is at second. Chris Segal is at third. And again, Mark Carlson, the crew chief, behind the plate. Fastball's playing right now. It is absolutely playing for this right-handed pitcher.
Got to be on the move here. Got to be on the move.
Walsh obviously runs well on his own, has a couple of stolen bases, so you've got an athlete there. And a very safe lead right now. That's respecting who Duggar is. He takes off. Pitch is low. Couple of runners on.
I mean, it's not automatic because it's only 1 out, but You have to have trust in the guy at the plate. We saw that a lot in spring training. Jose Rojas has a good eye. Doesn't chase a whole lot. Doesn't chase that pitch. It's below the strike zone on a 3-2 count.
Darren saw a very good BP session today from Juan Lagares. In fact, Joe Madden himself pulled him aside for a few minutes and pretty much talking about what we're discussing here for a couple of days now on those hands getting back on time for Juan Lagares to get more extension on contact.
And so let's see how it plays. You beat me to the punch on that. I was going to ask you to evaluate what you see in this at bat, as he's got a couple of runners out there. 247 on base this year as he takes a strike over the outside corner. 0-1 the count.
Duggar's had a good feel for that lower part of the strike zone with his fastball.
Will be, if Shohei can get that pitch tonight consistently, look out.
One for his last 22 with 5 strikeouts. And the count evens at 1-1. Prior to that, he went 2 weeks in which there were doubles, there were triples. He was frustrating opposing teams with 2-out RBIs. As a matter of fact, his previous 12 games before this 1 for 22 stretch that you can see. Right there at 385, the slug at 472.
Still remember that line drive he hit right down the right field line. Stayed back on it. Had trust in his hands.
Fastball is playing, and it's turned into a double play. Crawford started it. Walton turned it over. That's 2 double plays in 2 innings. Duggar.
Mr. Schmaltz, at MLB Network, you've done color commentary, game analysis, and demos. How do you juggle so many roles?
It just comes naturally, I guess.
The analyst of MLB Tonight, answering baseball's toughest questions.
Mike Trout, people know he's one of the greatest players this game's ever seen.
Meet Mike Trout.
Can run.
He's watching MLB Network.
He's one of the nicest people you're ever going to meet.
Because that's what baseball fans do.
And he's also got tremendous show hair with his hat off.
Liner, and it falls in. And that's a strikeout. To the warning track, it's out of here. He struck him out swinging, and he lines one. It's gone.
Against a single pitch, lowest average allowed, and you see an 0.43 average against that split-fingered fastball. A couple of sliders. Rodon and the no-hitter man, Musgrove, on that list.
A couple no-hitter guys on that one there. Their sliders are devastating.
Yeah, Carlos. I slipped him off that list for a moment. Good call by you. 1-0 the count to Taylor Trammell. 1 of 4 last night, scored a run, struck out as well. Ohtani with the fastball. He was ready. He runs well. Takes that aggressive turn. Rojas fires it in with the slide. And he's in there with a double. The only hits against Shohei, 2 of them have been extra base hits. Yeah. Crawford with a homer and Trammell with a double.
There were 5 of them the entire season, extra base hits against Shohei. 2 today, now 7. It's a cut fastball that stays on the inner half, and it's a Good smooth swing from Trammell. Leveled, lines it, picking up a double. It's 4th of the season, 9th extra base hit.
Donovan Walton against Ohtani. Squares the bunt, takes it with him up the line. Little flip, nice job getting to that bag by Wong.
That was really good execution by Ken Wong. Get to first base. I thought after that bunt and Walsh was forced to field that baseball, that was a chance to be an infield hit, but Wong there alertly get that out at first base. Seattle trying to manufacture a run here. With a leadoff double. Now sack bunt. Even early in the game, you cannot blame Scott Shervis for that because you're facing one of the top pitchers in the game, Shohei Ohtani.
They believe in Shohei enough to draw the infield in at this point in the game. Breaking ball, got away with one, did Ohtani. Pros and cons here of pulling the infield in at this point.
I think the way Seattle has pitched against the Angels this year, you got to take that shot, and you're thinking there's going to be soft contact against Ohtani. Either a swing and miss or soft contact, you get a better chance of making a play at the plate. Even though that wasn't spotted well as curveball, it was a softer pitch, and Crawford out in front.
Crawford homered to lead this ball game off. Fastball 97 miles an hour.
Now you got to have a lot of trust in Kurt Suzuki to keep this splitter. More than likely, that's what he goes to, especially with 2 strikes and needs a strikeout, is a splitter. See Crawford looking in there, trying to gather himself at home plate to go after Shohei Ohtani here, thinking he might get a splitter.
JP has struck out 38 times this year. The 0-2. It is a splitter. There is an effect on this pitch tonight that I don't know that I've seen as far as its late dive. You see how effective he is with 2 strikes.
I think Jacob deGrom better at finishing off a hitter with 2 strikes and getting a strikeout. That's incredible.
And maybe it's the way Suzuki's catching the baseball. Lifted into left field. Upton has to track back. That splitter stayed up. And you've got to give credit to J.P. Crawford. He hung in there because he was in the hole big time against Ohtani. And I'm guessing Shohei would tell you, I made a mistake with that one.
Yeah, because he had him set up for a strikeout, and he needed it. Crawford's been a one-man wrecking crew so far in this series. Goes back to what he's done all season long against the Angels. Now 5 RBIs against the Angels this year.
Breaking ball, bottom falls out of it. 0-1 the count against Mitch Haniger. 2-0 Seattle leads it. It's 1985 baseball, by the way. A double, a sac bunt, and a sac fly. You find yourself against a guy who allows a batting average of 156. You get a runner in scoring position, man. You cash in, and they did. Little things. Funny, I had a great conversation with David Fletcher before the game today, and we'll share it over the next couple of days. He's fun to talk with, but he really emphasized, and look, this sounds simple, the little things. That's when I knew that I could make it to the highest levels. My skill set didn't match everyone else's, but a lot of those little things, I knew I could do them well. And those little things are what the Mariners did this inning against one of the toughest arms in the game, and because of that, Seattle leads it 2-0.
Hey, Harold, how do you prepare for a big show?
Well, I just try to stay positive. Take it one show at a time and treat it just like any other show.
How do you feel about the other analysts you work with?
It's a great group of guys. We're all on the same page. I'm just happy to be here.
What's your prediction for the season?
We'll see what happens. It all comes down to execution in the studio.
The pro player answers. He's still got it.
The analyst of MLB Tonight, answering baseball's toughest questions on MLB Network.
Hey, Pedro, what was it like when you won your first Cy Young Award?
Well, I was...
What about when you won the pitching Triple Crown?
Well,
How did you feel when you won a World Series?
I was,
What's it like to be an 8-time All-Star?
The analyst of MLB Tonight, answering baseball's toughest questions.
To get it going, and they'll look to the 8, 9, and 1 slots in the order. Shohei's picked them up so many times throughout, especially this year, but 2018 and this year, time to throw them on their shoulders, the rest of his teammates, get him a couple of runs. Keane back in the big leagues. Takes a bunt with him and pops it up. Nice effort. Ending up leaving his feet, Walton, almost as if he anticipated it.
I'll tell you what, that was the right decision. You have France playing so deep at first base. If you bring that baseball with you, there's a race down the first base with Duggar covering the bag. I think there's a real good chance if that baseball gets down, he has a shot. The right decision, but the execution not quite there for Wong. I do like the thought process on that one.
That's a great face.
It's like, uh-oh, if I didn't get that, I think that's going to be a base hit.
Here's David Fletcher, 0-1 the count. David 1 of 4 with the strikeout last night. 16 times on base, 16 in his last 11 games. 1-1, pretty good pitch.
Well, he paints that lower part of the strike zone. That's a cool photo. Good look. See if Fletch can hook one down the line. Oh, he's painting the corner. That's a tough spot for Fletch. Fletch, and you were even talking to him today, Darren, he likes the pitches elevated. That is a tough one.
David talked about his bat-to-ball skills and the confidence he has in that area. Still couldn't get what I wanted to get out of him. How do you practice hitting that ball up? He hits that ball away, and there's your bat-to-ball skills. Base hit, Fletcher. That one wasn't up at all, though he can get the ball at his helmet and take it that way. That one wasn't.
Just trying to make contact with it. He was looking to go the other way the whole at bat. He saw all those pitches down and away on the outside corner, so he was tracking away, just punching in the right field. Fraley playing pretty deep against him in right.
He's had some fun moments against Seattle in his young career, David Fletcher.
Including his first major league hit, a triple.
Justin Upton. High fly ball. Deep left field. Gone! Did you, J.Up? Did you?
Another home run versus a breaking ball for Jay Uptown Funk ties it up at 2. Back-to-back games for home runs, whether he's leading off or hit number 4 in the lineup. Justin Upton tying it up. 12th home run of the season for Upton, and he crushed that one way out. Well, he crushes breaking balls, and he gets great lift on that one. How strong he is. He's creating all that power. That's a 74-mile-an-hour curveball. Nice play by the bullpen catcher, too. Walsh going, man, he covered that breaking ball. And the Goose liking it, too.
Well, that's it. That's it for Duggar. Kind of scrapping his way through. Call to the bullpen. Zamora comes on. We'll introduce you to the left-hander.
How the Angels got here with all the moves they made. They have
Meet Justin Upton. He's watching MLB Network.
Again, the lineup got deeper.
Because that's what baseball fans do.
They're deep. They're deep.
Mr. Schmaltz, at MLB Network, you've done color commentary, game analysis, and demos. How do you juggle so many roles?
It just comes naturally, I guess.
The analyst of MLB Tonight, answering baseball's toughest questions.
Liner, and it falls in. And that's a strikeout. To the warning track, it's out of here. He struck him out swinging, and he lines one. It's gone.
Went to Bishop Amat, La Puente, California. His name, Daniel Zamora. Back in the big leagues after a couple of years with the Mets. Went to Stony Brook back in New York where he pitched collegiately. 3 2/3 innings is all we're working with regard to studying who he is. But this left-hander brought on for this left-handed slugger specifically, Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei was going with it, looking at the scouting report. Jeremy Reed for seeing a pitch thrown.
Breaking ball misses outside to Ohtani. As we shared with you, Justice Sheffield threw a bunch of those last night. Shohei didn't like them. See how determined they stay with the breaking ball.
And his feet are moving again a little bit for Shohei.
"15 home runs on the season. Three breaking balls in a row.
Yes, fastball's not overpowering, 86-91. Slider changeup. A huge percentage of sliders thrown.
Three and one the count. Hitters count. Thinking breaking ball. Let's see if he spots it where he wants to.
He throws about 75% of the time. He'll throw a slider here, 3-1 to a lefty. So it's not a given he's going to throw him a fastball.
Outside, ball 4. A little bit timid, and Ohtani takes advantage. Look, he hit one so firm in his last at bat, well over 100 miles an hour, and it was just the defense shifted over at the last moment in order to turn it into a double play. It was a wild choice, really. I don't know, Gooby, I was going to ask you, have you ever seen this happen this late?
Yeah, they were on the move as he's getting his sign. It was a 2-0 count. Both Crawford and Seager, they're moving. As the pitcher, Duggar's about ready to make the pitch. They haven't quite even settled in yet, and then Crawford's got to deal with a rocket about 110 miles per hour right his way. Easy double play turn.
Ohtani walks this time. Anthony Rendon takes a fastball at 90 off the plate. 1-0 the count. Shohei 17 walks in over the last month. Let's put it at a month. And really, since Mike Trout has gone down, he's been walking more. He's shown more patience. On a backhand, what sweet hands. That's a tough break there. That's 3 double plays in 3 innings. And that ball was smoked. 2-2.
Liner, and it falls in. And that's a strikeout. To the warning track, it's out of here. He struck him out swinging. And he lines one. It's gone.
Hey, Pedro. Hey, Pedro. What was it like when you won your first Cy Young Award?
Well, I was...
What about when you won the pitching Triple Crown?
Well,
How did you feel when you won a World Series?
I was,
What's it like to be an 8-time All-Star?
The analyst of MLB Tonight, answering baseball's toughest questions.
It must be so cool to be Shohei Ohtani. In this 2-2 game, we kind of dive a little bit deeper as to the why. I mean, he's Shohei Ohtani, right? I mean, Gooby, what else are you going to be out front of the big hats, out getting ready to take out his favorite Harley and go for a ride up there at Sturgis? We've all seen him surf a lot regularly. I know Gooby sees him down there. Down at Strands and Salt Creek, a couple of spots.
Oh, yeah.
He's cool, man.
Yeah, you got the leather jacket. He's like Arthur Fonzarelli back in the day. So cool.
But different than the Fonz, he won't attempt to jump the shark.
No.
By the way, he's taught me a few Japanese words, so I got the coolest teacher. Also, Gooby, Shohei.
Yeah, you do have a cool teacher. He's back working on the bump, the right-hander. Thanks for playing around with us, by the way, folks. We appreciate you understanding. It's just a baseball game. We're having some fun. Big shift defensively against Kyle Seager. Rendon all by himself on the left side. And as always occurs, Fletch plugs that hole in the outfield, if you will. Seager ready. Gives that one a ride to center. To his right, Lagares puts that one away.
Pretty efficient so far. That's the 38th pitch for Ohtani into the 4th inning with one out here.
'20th start for Ohtani of his major league career. If you're into wins and losses, he's won 5 times. He's lost 4 times. He's pitched to a 3.71 ERA. In 89 2/3 major league innings, Ohtani has struck out 116 batters. Breaking ball, hung it. Ty France took advantage. Another extra base hit for these Mariners. They've got 3 hits. It's a homer and a pair of doubles.
And they're going to be aggressive. They don't want to fall behind in the count. And you're seeing some Aggressive swings. If he hasn't hit his spot, it's been hit pretty hard by Seattle. Staying back. Try to throw that get-over curveball, and he was ready.
Number 5 and 6 hole hitters now getting ready to go to work. Patient Jake Fraley was very aggressive. And that one is low, 1-0 the count. Quirky numbers, but they're still numbers nonetheless when you think of 5-hole and 6-hole hitters. Fraley in that spot last night homered for the first time in his career, just about a month's worth of games. But if I'm penciled into that 5 or 6 spot, I ask for a quick move right away. I mean, can you put me at maybe 8, maybe 9? Because so far, there are no hits in that spot. Again, that's a unique spin on the numbers. I won't even ask you to break that down because there's nothing to break down.
Yeah, I mean, because it all depends on who you're playing against in those 5 and 6 spots in the lineup, so everything can change. And the important thing is somehow get through this inning and keep it at 2-2 after your offense ties it up with a 2-run home run by Justin Upton.
And that's my partner right there. Nothing to break down and still manages to find something. 2-1 the count. That's why you're cool. 1A. You're 1A.
I'm not as cool as that cat on the mound.
No, you're 1A. I understand.
By the way, that was a pretty good cut fastball. I didn't get the call for it. And the pitch before, 97 from Ohtani.
So we're velo watching. Are you liking what you're seeing?
Yes. See a 96, 97.
I always marvel at how easy it comes off his fingertips to deliver it. As that fastball at 96 is low. 3 balls and 1 strike the count. As Fraley has returned to the man who is 4 for 21, but has walked 15 times this year.
It's amazing his on-base percentage. What, 556 with all those walks.
Gets a call. Feels like he knows the zone.
Well, there was a time though, if you were a young hitter with not a lot of time and you questioned a home plate umpire, wow. And that was definitely off the plate. There's a reason why he wasn't real happy about it. Four-seamer runs off about a full baseball off the corner. See if you get him to chase. It's not easy to do it. But he was forced to swing at that one at 97. That was off the plate as well. Remember, he punched him out with a splitter. The Shohei throw a 3-2 splitter here.
He threw him a breaking ball. Just a teeny tiny slider at the top of the zone, enough spin to freeze him. And it was up.
Slider up. But slider in the strike zone, especially after a couple pitches away. Fastball away. A separation of about 16, 17 miles per hour between his slider and his fastball. Freezes him.
Here is Jared Kelenic.
And you got to be careful. He's going to be up there swinging the first pitch. You got to make sure when you throw this first pitch, if you're Shohei Ohtani, you hit your spot.
And that second career game against Cleveland, it's been an uphill battle since. As Kelenic takes a fastball missed up and away, just off the plate, 1-0.
See that one at 96.
Kelenic, part of that 18 grad class, have produced a bunch of talented high school draft picks. One of those is in the majors, Ryan Weathers with the Padres. As Kelenic fouls it off. Man that was moved in a big deal by the Rays, Matthew Liberatore, a talented left-hander, was in that class. If you follow college baseball, you've heard of Kumar Rocker for Vanderbilt. He was in the class with Kelnick. But to be a graduate of high school in 18 and already be in the major leagues. No minor league baseball last year. Kind of stunning.
That's a lot of trust in his hands and what he's doing at the plate and his work ethic. We saw that today earlier. He was working hard on his swing. The talent is there. Also, you see that work ethic.
2-0 on the count. Shohei looking to dig right out of this one, get back in his spot in the dugout. Might have taken that bat out as it's fouled off. Didn't have the sound that Kelnick liked. A nice play over there. What do you got here?
Bringing the glove. Yes, of course. It was an Ohtani jersey.
He made a nice play too. There was, some interference. A gentleman in the puffy coat near him.
Puffy coat?
With no intent. I mean, the puffy coat guy did the right thing. He's just trying to make the play, but that young man stayed focused. Glad to know, as far as our technical team, that Ruby's cough box works. 2-2 the count. Over the top of a split-fingered fastball. Completely frustrated Kelnick with that one. Yeah, he's got it.
Yes.
Good effort by the puffy coat man as well.
Seinfeld reference. Love it.
Have new money goals? NerdWallet can help you find the credit card to make them happen. Want to earn enough points for a weekend of fancy camping? We have options for that. Maybe have a better credit card than your older sister. We have comparison tools for that. Or find a card that lets you donate your cash back to food banks. We have tips for that too. From low rates to the best rewards, easily discover and compare the smartest credit cards. For all your money questions, turn to the nerds.
Leagues for many seasons. 33-year-old Hector Santiago goes to work, trying to groom him back to possibly be in that rotation. He made 3 starts this year in AAA, 14 innings, 22 strikeouts as a starter in AAA. And of course, it's a familiar man, Hector Santiago. Wore red, worked in this ballpark for a couple of years.
Fan favorite when he was with the Angels. A lot of fastballs he'll throw. Fastball is going to be 90-94. Throw a slider. You saw that one, and a really good changeup. Throwing a lot more changeups of late.
One and one the count to Jared Walsh. An Angel in 14 with a 3.75 ERA. Santiago. An Angel in 15 and an All-Star. 3.59 ERA in 33 appearances. 1-2 the count.
He's getting Walsh to chase a high fastball twice now to him.
Took last year off as a major leaguer. Split time between the Mets and the White Sox in 2019. 2-2 the count.
Try to get it a little bit higher up in the strike zone to get a chase, and that time Walsh did not go after it. A lot of room on the left side. He's got to think that other part of the field against a lefty.
Pulled the string on him. It was a slider, and he definitely pulled back on that velocity-wise, and he froze him.
So he might even threw him a lefty on lefty change piece, although it could have been even a flat slider. It didn't go down and away against him. He was expecting I was supposed to be a slider that almost looked like a changeup. Sometimes as a hitter, you're tracking a slider, you're thinking with the spin of the baseball, it's going to go down and away. They actually stayed true and stayed on the inner half.
Back behind the plate, he'll give it a look and stick with it as long as he can. Tom Murphy. And down below, folks are okay in their seats. To the count.
And the bullpen throwing a lot of strikes for Hector Santiago.
Now that was a changeup that he pulled.
He pitches inside very effectively against right-handed batters with his fastball.
A different look, slow curveball, different certainly than the pitch that got Walsh. Junior college in Florida from New Jersey, Santiago. Round draft pick of the White Sox. This is a self-made player. This isn't a guy that came in with a whole bunch of ballyhoo and folks inflating him to get to the big leagues. He did it all himself.
Him as a hard worker. Preparation. Excellent.
Rolls that one foul.
He's able to get that fastball. He's not afraid. It's not overpowering at the upper 90s, but he will pitch inside. Suzuki trying to bring his hands in and just pulled that one foul.
Changeup misses away. He shares the story, Santiago. He probably shared it when he was here about the workouts with his dad, also Hector, and his brother Anthony. They'd be up with the sun, 7 years old, working on the field, all positions. And Suzuki shoots that one off the screen. In the wintertime, they would find indoor tracks that were open. They'd find steps. Dad would find them. And as a matter of fact, if there were diamonds that weren't dry enough, they'd use cat litter, Dad, and get a mattress out there, an old mattress, and drag that field so they could take some ground balls. Oh, yes.
Yeah, he's a hard worker. He has an incredible memorabilia collection too.
Does he?
Yes.
Jerseys, cards, baseballs, all of it?
No, a lot of jerseys. Lots and lots and lots of jerseys.
Swing and a miss. Former Angel spins a good breaking ball in there. That's the best slider he's thrown.
Because he was able to establish that lower third. You have to go after it, even though that might have even been a strike too. That was a pretty effective slider. Even though Murphy catches it down towards third, crossing the plate, that was the lower third.
Fastball gets the inside corner. 0-1 the count to Jose Rojas. Walked back in the second inning. One missed outside, 1-1 the count. Big difference, isn't it, folks? Kind of shocking, too, since he is a lefty. As he gives that one a ride. Deep right field. Jose Rojas bangs that one over the wall and out of here. You can run, sir. You can keep going. Come on. Yeah, got over that yellow line. Third home run of the year for the Anaheim native.
Against a lefty for Jose Rojas. Over that yellow line in the right field, playing like a ballpark. Not like you want to play in 1985. That would have been a double. Now a home run. See, break a ball, a flat slider. He turns on it, stays back, and lines it.
Good call, just over the yellow line, right on it, the umpiring crew. That fastball's in on the corner, 0-1 the count.
So a couple home runs today for the Halos, giving them 70 on the season, now a 3-2 lead.
Lagares comes up empty, goes down on strikes, but Jose Rojas with his third Major League home run to go along with a stunning tally of 12 doubles. Does his thing, puts the Angels up.
What's worse, having erectile dysfunction or having to talk about it? You'd be surprised how many men I've talked to that struggle with that choice. And it's why I started Roman. Because getting help shouldn't be difficult. With Roman, we've made it easy to connect with a healthcare professional online. They'll work with you to find the right treatment plan, and if prescribed, your medication will ship discreetly to your door. Simple, straightforward, and the way healthcare should be. Roman, let's take care of it.
It's not just because Boll & Branch organic cotton sheets are incredibly soft. They are. And it's not just that they're free from toxins and made by people who are paid and treated fairly. That's true too. It's because home is where the magic happens. And with better sheets made in safer ways, home makes the world a better place. Boll & Branch. Right now, try for 30 nights risk-free and get free shipping at bollandbranch.com.
Good Friday night to all of you. Thanks for hanging out with us. Patrick O'Neill, our opener and our closer tonight. He's money and he knows it.
Give you whoop whoop next door.
Good stuff. The dangerous Tom Murphy, who struck out looking. What I mean by that is he'll crush one if you make a mistake. 6 home runs on the year. Couldn't catch it, but it was a strike, a breaking ball.
Credit Mark Carlson for calling that a strike because it's in the strike zone. Even though it backed up on Kurt Suzuki, he wasn't able to frame it.
Went back to another secondary pitch. That one only 77 miles an hour. So am I to evaluate that either as a slower slider, or is that a curveball?
That's a slider he's taking a little bit off. It's almost he's using that as an off-speed pitch because his splitter's been a little harder today than it was last time out. Same thing with his fastball.
Funny you would mention that split-fingered fastball.
There it is.
Bottom falls out of it, because I've also got some cool tech for you, Gooby. PlaySense, Frontier PlaySense. Go.
That splitter, where it starts and where it ends up. It looks like it's the middle of the plate, ends up at the lower third. This time it looks at the lower third, ends up well below the strike zone, a swing and miss, and that one the same thing, and you get a fastball. Made a mistake on that one. A couple of hits today on fastballs have been down and on the inner half. Take a look at our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. Fastball batting average 267 this year. And you see those numbers versus his secondary pitches. They are unhittable.
We put that together for you. You know, we knew a splitter was coming. We knew you'd talk about it. 0-1 the count to Taylor Trammell. Doubled and scored back in the third inning.
That was a fastball. A couple fastballs, extra base hits, one hanging slider, extra base hit. Of the 3 hits today, all extra base variety.
Slightly open stance, hands away from his body. And this man who's still coming of age in the big leagues, this is his first journey. Much like Jared Kelenic, it's interesting. He's a little bit older than Jared, obviously, but he's maybe only a few weeks ahead of Kelenic, learning as he goes. And as I mentioned it last night, he was sent down to AAA to work on his craft, and it was stunning how he worked on his craft.
That's a good little slider. What I would do against Trammell until he shows me he can hit it away, I would pitch him away. Fastballs, splitters away. By the way, I always like when I see Shohei doing that, flipping that baseball up. He's starting to feel more comfortable. Even though he's got 8 strikeouts, he can feel it. He wants to keep attacking the strike zone. Here's the chance to get a split, maybe get another strikeout.
Fastball, ground ball. Fletcher settles in on the grass and makes the play. Good speed coming up the line in Trammell, but he gets him. He didn't throw him a splitter. He didn't throw him a slider.
But an out's an out. That's all you want.
He's hanging at 8 strikeouts, by the way, if you're counting.
58 pitches thrown with 8 strikeouts. That's really, really impressive.
Interesting exchange right there with Anthony Rendon. I'm not sure what he was asking him. Rendon shook his head no, and then Shohei went to work. Boy, good slider under his swing. Calling that a cutter, but boy, that's got a lot of depth to be a cutter.
Something he just started throwing this year, and it's been a pretty effective pitch for him.
And that cutter just broke like Bert Blyleven's curveball. That's big. That one dives down and away, split-fingered fastball.
That's a nasty split. How much that drops.
That kind of had that classic split dive to it. Like I said, he threw some early in the game that almost handcuffed Suzuki, who's comfortable catching it because of the lateness of the dive. Fastball lined left field, base hit. 95 miles an hour. Walton, who dropped down a sac bunt in the third, has a single to left.
You just got to give him credit. That's a pretty good piece of hitting. 3 of the 4 hits versus Ohtani's fastball. 96. He was just determined to look the other way. And to give J.B. Crawford an opportunity to swing the bat in this inning with a runner on. Well, he's pretty comfortable in the batter's box against Ohtani. There's not many hitters you ever say that about. Actually, overall against the Angels this year with a 9 for 16 with 5 RBIs, and that's a real good hack first pitch.
Walsh being a good host at first as he and Walton haven't stopped chatting over there.
Amazing though, you look at the numbers on the road versus home for Crawford. Big time difference. 206 at home, 305. 29 for 95 on the road for Crawford this year.
Bottom fell out of that one. Pretty good pitch. Nearly grabbed the bottom part of the strike zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the one thing that Crawford's doing the last week or so is he's flexing a bit. In his last 6 games, he's got a couple of doubles. He's got a couple of homers, slugging close to .550 in the last week. Drives that one to right.
Wow, another well-hit baseball by Crawford.
Wow. Firm topspin on that one right into the glove of Rojas.
Mike Trout. People know he's one of the greatest players this game's ever seen.
Meet Mike Trout.
Can run.
He's watching MLB Network.
He's one of the nicest people you're ever going to meet.
Because that's what baseball fans do.
And he's also got tremendous show hair with his hat off.
Hey, Al, during tonight's show, what was that meatball you threw?
Meatball? That was a hitting demonstration, and that's what I was supposed to do.
Right.
Next question.
The analyst of MLB Tonight, answering baseball's toughest questions.
The ballpark is better when we're all here together. COVID-19 vaccines are safe and effective. Join the team and help us all get back to doing what we love together.
Was a little bit late to the party. He hopped out, was never really on deck. But to be fair to Wong, Santiago was ready about as quickly as you can get ready.
Yeah, he definitely has always been that way. He's running out to the mound. He wants to go out and attack a hitter as quick as possible. You know, he came up with Mark Burley with the White Sox, so you know you're always trying to get out there as quick as possible.
Wong hopped out of that dugout, went to work on the first pitch. Take a look at our Carl's Cam replay, and certainly some good memories. Talked about being efficient. Let's go back in time. How about Rick Wise? Not only did he throw a no-hitter, but he homered twice for the Phils. Outstanding in that game. And by the way, Wise, he had 6 home runs that year. At the man who ended it.
Yeah, look at the man who made the last out of a no-hitter, the man with the most hits in the history game. Pete Rose tried to line that one by the third baseman. Rick Wise, what a game. The reason why we show that, Shohei Ohtani with the power in the pitching. Rick Wise, how about that game? No-hitter with 2 home runs at the plate.
Yeah, 15 home runs in his career. I mean, he could hit. 15 home runs in his career, a .308 slug as Fletch slaps that one to the right side.
Hey, look at that box score, by the way, guys. Tim McCarver, Larry Boa, Darren Johnson, Willie Montañez. And I love those unis, Gooby.
Oh, yeah.
That stripe? Oh, my God.
And also the numbers were big enough. I could see those numbers up at the 700 level at Veterans Stadium, even though that was on the road. But I could see that from a long ways away.
How much was the entrance there? How much?
$2.50. $2.50.
Fletch rolls that one to the right side. Off speed, had him reaching. Justin Upton walked first time up, second time up. Oh, he was ready for a breaking ball. No doubt about this one.
He crushes breaking balls. If you don't throw a quality breaking ball against him, it will be hit hard. It'll be either hit to left center or he will hit that one. But Upton, at that point, tied the game at 2.
Trying to recall, did you drop an Uptown Funk?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
I heard it.
Thank you.
Official.
Sure.
I tell you, when his hands are working and he's quiet with that body, he is one dangerous hitter.
And Jose, he's one of the strongest guys in the game. I mean, the baseball over his career, he's hit the most prolific home runs because he's been so strong.
And Joe Madden always compliments him on just being a good listener. Veteran player that listens well.
Climbing up the all-time list, by the way. He's played for a long time, breaking in 2007, beating the pressure. Coors Light. Kind of a fun list, too. Cecil and Prince, Jay Bruce, and Upton, all at 319.
It's pretty amazing. Cecil and Prince at 319.
Good fortune of calling a lot of Prince Fielder's games. What a treat that was. Talk about a good teammate.
Yes.
And he played. One of those guys that played every day.
Oh, you're right, Jose. And that hurts with Murphy behind the plate. Until his body just said, I can't go anymore, and it betrayed him. He was born big, he played big, and his body just said, I'm good. But you're right. I mean, otherwise, outside that, he was out there. He wanted to be there every day.
Yeah, Prince put on some BP showcases here in this ballpark as a youngster.
Two and two, the count on Justin Upton. And it's 3-2.
Knowing that Upton hits off-speed pitches so well, and with Hector Santiago on a 3-2 pitch, we'll try run a fastball upstairs.
Good night for Upton.
He's a prototypical leadoff guy. A couple walks tonight, going a little Ricky Henderson with a couple walks and a home run in the leadoff spot.
And he walked in front of Shohei.
Shohei hasn't jumped on a first pitch fastball in a while. Maybe this is the time to jump on a first pitch.
One 1-0 the count. He showed him a fastball. 15 home runs, same number Rafael Devers possesses. Adolis Garcia with 16. Tatis, Vlad Jr., Acuna with 17.
Yeah, you have to have the name. You have to be a junior to hit 17 home runs in the major leagues this year.
And his home run rate is pretty crazy percentage of hits. He and his buddy out there at first. Outside.
So 2 fastballs off the plate away. Do we break a ball for a strike?
Shohei's .581 slugging percentage is the 7th highest total in the game. A lot of the same names I shared ahead of him. Chris Bryant ahead of him as well. 2-2 the count. But it's Vlad Jr. who leads the game in slug at 655. Shohei 581.
Can't imagine him not throwing a breaking ball here now to Shohei. A lot of room left side in the infield if he wants to punch it that way.
He threw him a breaking ball on one hop. It's the shortstop, J.P. Crawford, who made the play in time for the out. Halos lead at 3-2.
Mike Trout. People know he's one of the greatest players this game's ever seen.
Meet Mike Trout.
Can run.
He's watching MLB Network.
He's one of the nicest people you're ever going to meet.
Because that's what baseball fans do.
And he's also got tremendous show hair with his hat off.
It's time for MLB Pitch, Hit, and Run, presented by MLB Network, the official youth skills competition of Major League Baseball. Give the kids in your community a chance to compete in the 2021 Pitch, Hit, and Run Finals by hosting a local competition. Sign up for free at pitchhitrun.com.
See your Southern California dealer today, because the longer you look at a new Hyundai, the more there is to like. Buy Jack in the Box. Dip into this. Grab a box of 15 tiny tacos or get them loaded. Only at Jack in the Box. That's so good.
They're doing the Mike Trout bobblehead. Look at that, the excitement with the Mike Trout bobblehead. The MVP Mike Trout bobblehead, three-timer.
That's pretty good. That's some commitment right there. I like the kids better, though. I mean, I really love the dancing, but the kids are pretty good. And Puffy Coat Guy. Those are my two favorites so far. Here's Mitch Haniger. Mitch struck out and grounded out. He's been banging the baseball lately. Last 18 games slugging over 540. Pops that one foul right up over our heads. Ends up down below. Souvenir for a happy fan.
Shohei's thrown that cutter quite a bit tonight.
As you were saying, that was a splitter that stayed up, wasn't it?
That's that splitter he can throw for a strike, and then when he gets the two strikes, then he throws his splitter that's not in the strike zone looking for a chase. That's why it's so effective, because he can throw for a strike. I don't know how you're able to handle that in the strike zone like he does, just the time he gets that chase like that.
Unbelievable sequence there, and throwing a splitter as a get-me-over pitch is really tough to do. It's tough to command, but then he went back to the hammer.
How far this one drops. After you establish you can throw for a strike, you have to make that commitment as a hitter. You're talking about a really good hitter at the plate, in Mitch Haniger chases that one. So cutter, split for a strike, split out of the strike zone for a swing and miss.
Haniger's been on base 27 times in his last 18 games. That splitter fluttered high, stayed up and out of the zone. He can take that pitch, and obviously we see him grip it as he takes the sign. You can close the fingers, I mean ever so slightly, and you're going to lose a little bit of the action. Two and 0 the count, a couple of splitters to Seager, and that's what he's trying to do that time. He's trying to throw two of them that aren't swing and miss splitters, but one's for strikes.
You know Seager's going to be swinging hard at this pitch. It's got to be a good spot. Shohei wanted that one. Although it was a little off the plate.
He wrapped a cut fastball right around the plate.
And you knew he was hacking. I wonder if Jose made the play down there on that one.
Oh, good.
Did you bring your glove?
Nada, man. I'm covered here. Netting, railing, players to my left.
Over the top. Cutter. 3-2 the count. How about that 3-1 pitch?
His feel for his secondary pitches is remarkable.
Gooby, I mean, we are seeing really a developing Shohei Ohtani becoming just a masterful pitcher.
Yep. Agree 100%, Jose.
Got it. Split-fingered fastball. Down goes Seager. That's 10 strikeouts.
Yeah, you fall behind 3-0. Seager swings 3-0 out in front. And then a cutter, and then a devastating splitter. The separation of the speed and the way that bottom drops out. And that would have been a strike. So not only a strikeout, that's a strike. You talked about that, a swing and miss in the strike zone.
He shook off 2 pitches and gets to what he wants for Ty France. It's a fastball, an easy 96, 1-0 the count to Ty.
Remember, he hooked a double on a curveball or a breaking ball.
Two 2-0 the count. Good take there.
Darren, I mentioned the name Tony Gwynn to Ty France today, and his eyes absolutely lit up.
So coached him at San Diego State. On the ground, out to Fletch. On across the diamond. Very manageable. 75 pitches. Shohei Ohtani.
How the Angels got here with all the moves they made. They have
Meet Justin Upton. He's watching MLB Network.
Again, the lineup got deeper.
Because that's what baseball fans do.
They're deep. They're deep.
Hey, Pedro. Hey, Pedro. What was it like when you won your first Cy Young Award?
Well, I was...
What about when you won the pitching Triple Crown?
Well,
How did you feel when you won a World Series?
I was,
What's it like to be an 8-time All-Star?
The analyst of MLB Tonight, answering baseball's toughest questions.
Hey, Uncle Dan.
Zach, go ahead.
So, what's your approach after a bad show?
A bad show? You think I had a bad show?
Well, you flubbed 2 lines in the intro segment. How did you feel about that?
How did I feel? Next question.
Okay. What was on your mind when?
What was on my mind? Boy, I hope my nephew Zach doesn't ask any dumb questions.
The analyst of MLB Tonight, answering baseball's toughest questions. Only on MLB Network.
Chatting with Shohei, Ippei interpreting a little bit with him. And then Matt Wise came back and shook his hands. The pitch count below 80, more handshakes for Shohei Ohtani.
Hey, look at those numbers, though. 0 walks, 10 strikeouts.
Let's be mindful also, Darren Gooby, about the way the lineup is structured when Shohei is pitching and he is batting. It's all around when can Joe Madden have flexibility when he needs to pull him out. And there's a lot that goes into it every time Shohei is on the mound.
Rendon. No one hangs up long enough. Kelnick runs it down, a line out to center field.
In fact, Darren, there's a lot that goes on when Shohei is not hitting because of that DH spot. Is the only one he can occupy if he comes into the game. So Joe has to maneuver a few things. And why not accommodate the coolest guy in the game?
Well, for me, he's still in the game on the mound. Should be. Very efficient. What, 76 pitches, 50 strikes, no walks, 10 strikeouts.
He is averaging 12.6 pitches per inning.
It's been outstanding. You know, you just feel your best arm in the game is the guy on the mound right now, and that's Shohei Ohtani. No disrespect to anybody down in the bullpen, but he's throwing the ball exceptionally well.
Not a lot of stress. Watson warming in the pen. Has struck out 10 and had a clean 6th inning. Swings right through that one, 1-2 the count.
You know, one thing that's pretty noticeable here from my vantage point is even in Shohei's follow through, not even as violent anymore. Especially on fastballs. Everything's been cleaned up, streamlined.
Back-to-back strikeouts, or I should say back-to-back outs to start this inning. A line to center, and then a strikeout to Walsh, to say it correctly. Suzuki now.
And Santiago's been able to throw that high fastball efficiently to Walsh both at bats. And the way Watson's going and the way the handshakes were going to Shohei Ohtani, it looks like that would be the move. Watson coming in the game.
Oh, and 1 the count on Kurt Suzuki.
Quite a few foul balls our way. Working with him.
I know. You ready?
Yes. Patrick O'Neill right next to him has his glove with him today.
That is Rawlings. Well done.
I don't know if he has the Griffin Canning Gold glove winning Rawlings glove.
Good changeup hits the outside corner. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Well, if that's the move that occurs, meaning Watson comes in, Shohei is done, I think we'll all be a little bit surprised and we'll watch it play out together. And I'm sure Joe will be asked after the game why. And as the manager, certainly that's his right and his.
But I'm telling you, Darren, I'm so excited the fact that no walks, 10 strikeouts. The walk has been part of Shohei's game, and he was throwing strike after strike. This is a great performance. Yes, he gave up the home run. Yes, he gave up 3 extra base hits, but 4 total hits, period.
Base hit, left field, Suzuki. He had popped to short, he had struck out. Diving effort by the Gold Glover, J.P. Crawford.
And it's interesting that conversation between Seager and Crawford. Almost like he said that baseball picked up speed going by him. He hit hard by Suzuki. See how they had a late skip and got by him. Gold Glove winner saying, how did that get by me? I thought I had a shot at that.
That's what your lips. If you're in front of that one.
He took one of those hops. You remember that shortstop, folks, don't you? In St. Louis, it had the same hop like that, made a barehanded play when it took a hop like that. On the 1.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
There's only been one of those.
Yeah.
One wizard. Light hitting shortstop in San Diego. And then everything turned.
And trust me, Gooby, what you're saying certainly agree wholeheartedly, as do every single one of these Angels fans watching. You need to celebrate what Shohei did.
Yes.
I think you find yourself, excited and thrilled beyond belief for what he still is becoming, because it is an evolution.
By the way, his 0 for 2, but both of those baseballs he hit, they were rockets.
And for some reason, Gooby, Darren, Seattle has been the toughest opponent for Shohei offensively this season. Coming into today, 1 for 15 against Seattle pitching. No luck tonight.
Good take, 2-2 the count to Rojas, who homered just over that yellow line in right field. Off the LED board. Back in the 4th inning. 3rd home run of the year.
A lot of room left side. Santiago goes something firm away. He can just punch it.
Gets him to chase the fastball up. We'll confirm if that man is out of the game when we come back.
Mr. Smoltz, at MLB Network, you've done color commentary, game analysis, and demos. How do you juggle so many roles?
It just comes naturally, I guess.
The analyst of MLB Tonight, answering baseball's toughest questions.
And it falls in. And that's a strikeout. To the warning track, it's out of here. He struck him out swinging. And he lines one. It's gone.
Top tier play. The work tonight of Shohei Ohtani.
10 strikeouts, no walks. First time in 20 career starts he has had no walks in the game. Even the closest he did fell behind 3-0 against Kyle Seager. Came back to get him to chase a splitter to finish him off. Outstanding game. Just 4 hits allowed for Shohei Ohtani. Excellent outing today on the bump for the Halos. And his good buddy, Jose Iglesias, always there, having fun with him.
Taylor Ward is in right field now. Ward will bat in that 2 spot. The pitcher spot will now move to the 6th slot in the order. With Ohtani coming out, losing the DH. Shohei didn't seem too playful at that moment when he was taking his gear and heading to the locker room. Still probably in that focus mode, that battle mode. He got some encouragement from his teammate, but as he turned and walked away, kind of seemed like he'd have some jokes a little bit later on. 0-1 the count to Jake Fraley. Oh, is he good tonight? Now his mates, his bullpen, will look to carry the water the rest of the way up the hill. Oh, 0-2 the count. You're marveling, aren't you, at a man who walks at a record pace, a Bonzian pace, if you will, still swings like crazy. Because he's got them both.
Yeah.
The patience and the wild swing.
Even with 2 strikes, he's not in that mode, especially when you have a shift on. You got a lot of room on the left side of the infield. He's still trying to do damage.
Angels lead it 3-2. 9 big outs to get. Hugging the line, still hugging, still hugging. That is, a foul
wow,
ball.
was that close.
Would have been extra bases. Tony on for the 21st time this year. 18 in the 3rd innings, 13 strikeouts. When he's right, the baseball's hit on the ground. In right field, pretty well struck. Ward going back. He turns and looks at the wall. Wow.
That's how strong he is. He was out in front of that one. He got it all the way to the wall. Boy, Ward's getting a lot of workout in. Just coming into the game all the way to the right field line and then into the alley in right center. Nice play by Taylor Ward. That was an impressive swing by Fraley.
Eight outs to get, by the way. Here's Jared Kelenic. Rounded out to second. He struck out as well. 0-1 the count. And the Mariners center fielder. Watson began his career in the major leagues with the Pirates in 2011. Good fastball missed in. Never made a single start, not a time, not a thought, never done it. Every single major league game in which he has pitched out of the bullpen. Kelenic. Fletch plays a funky hop and turns it into an out.
And he realized he had to get rid of that baseball quickly because Kelenic gets down the line quick.
And now a quick word from Jack in the Box.
Everything's better with cheddar, like my new 2 for $5 cheddar biscuit breakfast sandwiches with cheddar baked right in.
He got one of those lip hops off the grass with Kelenic running, as you said. Nice job by Fletch. Here's Tom Murphy. $15,141 fans tonight. That's just about full as you can get within the current regulations. Full capacity here soon.
It's a pretty good pitch.
This is the guy, right? This is one of the hitters where you always remind yourselves, and we're just sitting up here talking. He's out there actually working, but you say to yourself, be careful here.
Yeah. Make him hit the ball on the ground.
Got a strike. Right up at the top level of the strike zone. 2-1 the count to Tom Murphy.
With 93-93 on him. Jammed him.
He's got a really good changeup if he wants to go to it.
Let's make sure it starts on the outside corner and drops below the zone and down.
There it was.
Yeah.
That's exactly where you wanted it.
That's a frustrating pitch too. You made a perfect pitch. You get a guy to chase and he's able to foul it off.
Oh.
He got it that time over the top of a wicked slider. Boy, 3 quick outs working with Shohei Ohtani.
Kevin Millar and Stephen Nelson promise to bring you all the fun from around the league.
Pinky promise. And you know, and these can't be broken.
Intentional Talk, only on MLB Network.
Mike Trout. People know he's one of the greatest players this game's ever seen.
Meet Mike Trout.
Can run.
He's watching MLB Network.
He's one of the nicest people you're ever going to meet.
Because that's what baseball fans do.
And he's also got tremendous show hair with his hat off.
For 25 years,
nice throw.
Major League Baseball and the Boys and Girls Clubs of America
That's beautiful.
have teamed up to guide kids through the first tries.
It's all good, Aaron.
The curveballs.
There you go.
And the big dreams, setting them up to make great plays on and off the field, celebrating 25 years of building brighter futures together.
Glad you are, as we welcome you back to the yard. Our T-Mobile coverage cam. 7th inning stretch time. Yep. That's you at home.
That's you in the booth right now.
I don't know if I have that kind of game. Yeah, on second thought I do. I'm hoping at some point, as we're talking about a vest now, I was going to say I'm hoping at some point our friend in the puffy coat makes one more appearance as Will Vest goes to work. 4.70 ERA, MLB debut. This is a guy who's new to the league, 25 years old, mid-major guy. Stephen F. Austin is where he played his college baseball. Dropping down a bunt, trying to get things going in the right direction. That'll help. It's fired away. Hustling into second. A big add-on run is needed. Look at Juan Lagares trying to turn his own tide.
Yeah, and that forces the pitcher to get off the mound and make a quick throw to first base, and that throw sailing towards the runner going down the line. And Juan Lagares, even though he has not been swinging the bat necessarily great of late, that's a great decision on his part to put down a bunt. So it'd be a bunt and an error. Bunt, single, and an error. Going down the line, he's thinking base hit. Did everything well on that one. That's exactly what you try to do as a pitcher. You push that baseball into the ground and then make the throw, but it's sailing towards the runner going down the line. And Vest did that right, pushing the baseball into the ground, and it sailed on him at the last second.
Another bunt. Long drops it down. Vest again threw nearly away. But a nice play being made over there by his first baseman, France.
Why that is so important, because you're bringing up David Fletcher, the most consistent hitter with runners in scoring position over the last couple of seasons. Usually then you'll see a fastball first pitch to Fletcher.
Infield in. Boy, nice job by Murphy. He didn't get far enough away. Lagares reading it as much as he could. David in his career, 375 on base percentage with runners in scoring position. Just keeps moving the line in this situation.
And there's that fastball in. And Fletch 364. Runners in scoring position this year.
Lagares singles with the bunt, then moves up on an error. He thought about that safety squeeze, didn't do it.
And that was all on his own.
The other interesting number about this man, who's a bit of a unicorn offensively, there's no one like him, is with 2 strikes in his career, his on base is over 300. With 2 strikes.
Yeah, he's going to probably get a slider here. See if he can just punch this to the right. That's a pretty good take. It's a huge run. That add-on run.
.95 miles an hour. The count is full. David's still working. The slider for Vest, the biggest swing and miss pitch that he possesses. A lot of damage done to that pitch this year as well. Let's see.
Good take.
He went around on the slider. David none too pleased. Joe not pleased. We'll see.
I thought from our angle looked like he held up and see if he ended up crossing the plate on this one. It's a tight slider. Yep, he went.
Jeremy Riggs, the first base umpire.
That doesn't happen too often when you get a swing by Fletch and no contact.
Only 26 strikeouts this year for Fletcher, but he went to his most effective swing and miss pitch. Justin's had a really good night. Homered, 2-run blast, big part of this game. Also walked a couple of times in front of Shohei. 2 outs. There's that add-on run. Again, baseball in the dirt. Be ready.
Yeah, 2 wild pitches for Vest. Got to get that good secondary lead. Anything in the dirt, you got to take a shot.
0-1 the count. J-Up fouls that one back. Scoring change, by the way, for Lagares, as they'll take that base hit away and call it a straight error.
I'm leaving it as a base hit, by the way.
Okay. 0-2 the count. Just the messenger. The 0-2. Oh boy. Oh, here he comes.
That's a great read. Did he tag him?
He got him with the dive.
What
Vest.
a play. What a play by Vest and Murphy on that one. I thought it was a great read.
He took a wild angle. Vest took a wild angle. It was almost as if he was running down the line with the, watch this, with Lagares.
And he got him. What a play that was. That's an unbelievable play. I don't know why I even checked this one. I mean, there's a tag on the ground, but it still got his body.
Nerds! Have new money goals? NerdWallet can help you find the mortgage lender to make them happen. Like getting a low rate on a downtown loft? We can help find the right lender. Or move out of the city since you're virtual now? We can find you loans for that. Want to refinance your home, free up cash, and redo your kitchen/home office? Yup, we've got tips for that too. Whether you refi or buy, easily discover and compare the smartest mortgage lenders. For all your money questions, turn to the nerds.
Took unique, maybe from his follow-through. Not sure why.
He read that in and he looked right away and saw where Lagares was and going at that spot. Usually as a pitcher, you're taught to go right to the plate. But if he goes right to the plate, Lagares is going to be safe.
No, he'll find a way to slide around him.
Yep. And I thought Lagares did everything well. I mean, he read that one exceptionally well, but that was just a great play by Vest and Murphy to prevent a run. What a play that was. Murphy quickly flips it and led Vest to be able to apply the tag, get him right on that thigh before Lagares can score. But he's in that secondary lead, reads that ball, and quickly goes. He did everything well. It was just a better play defensively against him.
You like taking that chance?
Yes, 2 strikes. Yes, definitely. I think Lagares did everything textbook. It was a better play defensively by Vest and Murphy.
It's a fun moment in the baseball game. Very athletic moment with the pitcher as well. Speaking of athletes, this guy was a good one. All through high school, then at Ole Miss, focused on baseball. Myers goes to work. Trammell down the line, into the corner it goes. It bounds off the base of the wall. Taylor hustling on around. He's thinking about that double. He has got it with a slide. And Taylor's got a couple of 2-baggers tonight. 5 on the year.
Fastball right on the inside part of the plate. Mentioned that's the pitch he hits, and he hits hard. You're better off pitching him away, playing him away.
Donnie Walton now. They're sniffing bunt big time. I mean, in tight on the corners. They'll see that bunt, and it's dropped down. Myers loses his footing, kicks the baseball. Everybody's safe.
See the cleats give out on Myers. He was trying to turn his body to maybe have a play when it came down to. He was thinking maybe there was a play at third base because it was bunted back to him pretty hard.
Sacrificing an error on that play. And so now J.P. Crawford. Nobody out. Rendon on the cut of the grass at third. 1-0 the count.
Boy, just like going back to last night when you had that bases loaded 1-out scenario, you didn't score. Seattle came right back, and here you are, man on third. Didn't get that run home, and Seattle right away. Stress.
2-0 the count to Crawford. Homered to open this game up against Shohei Ohtani. Also a sac fly to left field and line to right. 3-0. Time now for a quick word from Kia.
Experience Kia's tough and ready lineup of all-wheel drive SUVs.
Myers fighting himself with regard to his command. Iglesias getting hot. Last 3 outings for Mike. He has been unscored upon. 2 2/3 innings. No runs allowed. Ball 4. So the base is loaded for the Mariners now.
Boy, Joe's looking down. If he's ready, Iglesias, he's going to go down to the bullpen. Look for a 6-out save.
Very deliberate in his walk. Making sure that he takes all the time. Wise has already been out. The move has to be made. And Joe will make it, take the baseball away from Mike. A double, an error, and a walk tonight. Base is full. Iglesias is on.
My hair started to thin, and I took a pharmaceutical drug that caused severe side effects such as sexual dysfunction. Nutrafol is a drug-free, natural supplement that gave me my hair, my health, and my confidence back. Get growing at Nutrafol.com.
I was born to be the next big thing. No telling where I'm going, but I'll show you what I mean. Like, na 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 na. You see me moving, but they're never gonna catch me.
How the Angels got here with all the moves they made. They have
Meet Justin Upton. He's watching MLB Network.
Again, the lineup got deeper.
Because that's what baseball fans do.
They're deep. They're deep.
Google MLB All-Star Ballot. I added a couple of 20s there as well. Vote daily at MLB.com/vote, MLB.com/vote, and on Google by searching for your favorite players to send them to Colorado. Frustrated with his outing, certainly. The last 6-out save for Iglesias, you have to go back to last year, September 2020. He was a Red. It was at St. Louis. And you can see the outing last time out, a 4-out save. He has stranded all the runners he has inherited, only 6. Usually a start the inning clean guy. This is a tall task.
What do you hope for when you come in this scenario? Is a ground ball right to you as a pitcher to go home to first? That's your best shot to get through this with no damage.
Just got a piece of that slider. 0-1 the count to Mitch Haniger. He's 0 for 3. He was strikeout victim number 9 of Ohtani. Walton, by the way, on that bunt where Myers slipped and kicked, was actually given a single. That pitch misses outside. 1-1 the count. On a backhand. Wide with that one.
Ground ball to Walsh. He's going to go home with a force out. Slider away. Haniger hits it his way. He's going to come home.
Electric fastball. He was looking slider. 2-2.
You have options on a 2-2 count. His wipeout pitch, slider. Go with that.
We'll do it again. He inherited 2 runners in an outing against Oakland May 23rd. Stranded them both. Has not inherited a bases loaded situation this year. Popped up right side. Walsh works on this every day.
Fly.
It is an infield fly. A step into foul territory. He's out there working on that pop-up every day. That's one big out. Still have to tie your hands defensively until you get to 2 outs.
Seager has grounded into 2 double plays. Back to a 2019, he rolled into 12.
Changeup, strike 1. They threw him another one. It stayed down and in. Back-to-back changeups. Hoping his teammate can play Houdini on the mound for him. Seager struck out twice. Good take. A little bit too firm on that changeup. And now a quick conversation. In Reisel's last 4 outings, he's thrown 5 innings. He has not walked anyone. He has struck out 8. They've been scoreless those 5 innings, and opponents hitting 118 against him. Why has he been so good lately?
His fastball's been really good, 97 miles an hour. His changeup, we know how good that is, but his slider has been under control, not overthrown it, and having a more consistent arm angle, because he throws some different arm angles with his slider. But on top of the baseball a little better.
Three defenders on the right side. Rendon even with the bag, but well off the bag at third. Outfield is just about straight up. The second night in a row playing quite shallow. Into the dirt. Boy, he was fortunate. Boy, a fastball. Who blocks a fastball in the dirt? You can't anticipate it.
What you can hope to is get a little bit of that leather of the glove on it. Keep it around you.
Nowhere to put him. 3-1 the count. The count.
Well, gutsy time.
.295 career appearances for Iglesias. 296 with some pressure on.
Got on top of it. That's that nasty wipeout slider. Got to keep focus. Not through it yet. What a job bouncing back and getting very good hitter out. Starts off changeup, gets the corner. Changeup just below the strike zone 89. Another changeup a little bit harder at 90. Overthrown fastball. Nice job by Suzuki. And then fastball 94 followed up by a nasty wipeout slider. 3-2. The guts to throw a slider 3-2 with the bases loaded. Wow. But the most difficult out is that third one. You got to keep focus. Have that same mindset.
Ty France, first pitch, fastball, outside corner, strike one. You love it. He walks down the mound, holds the glove out. Give me that baseball back. Cuban native trying to wiggle off the hook for his teammate. Swing and a miss at a changeup, strike two. The 0-2. Got him outside corner, strike three, and the bases remain loaded. In his career, Raisel Iglesias has never been put in an inherited runner situation with the bases loaded. This is the first time.
How about that reaction by Raisel Iglesias going off the mound? What a job and an efficient effort by Iglesias. Halo still 3-2.
My hair started to thin, and I took a pharmaceutical drug that caused severe side effects such as sexual dysfunction. Nutrafol is a drug-free, natural supplement that gave me my hair, my health, and my confidence back. Get growing at Nutrafol.com.
A lot can happen with a simple tell your story. Get people excited. To get connected, to share, and sell anywhere, and start making a different future. Start different at GoDaddy.com.
And it falls in. And that's a strikeout. To the warning track, it's out of here. He struck him out swinging. And he lines one. It's gone.
mound, pointing to the sky. He had never in his career been called into a bases-loaded situation as a relief pitcher, period. Not been called in and gotten out of it, just never had been called into it ever. And so the first time he has that challenge, he inherits 3. There was nobody out, folks, and he got out of it.
I love the energy here at the ballpark with the fans. They willed Raisel Iglesias to get through that inning, and it was a huge effort by him to get through that with no runs allowed.
Justin Upton working against Will Vest, who has his own little personal momentum after making that great defensive play. Tagging out Juan Lagares scoring. You find yourself thinking too, my goodness, gentlemen, if you can do it, just one more run would be nice.
Yeah, or at the very least have a little bit of a long inning to give him a breather.
Because you're taking your closer and you're emptying his tank with this outing. Because your setup man just wasn't on tonight. That's a pretty good pitch, sir.
Justin will take that one. That was a nasty slider.
Well, Seawald missed outside with that slider. Check that, by the way. I had Vest out there. Seawald has the count, 2-2. Thrown off from what Raisel just pulled off. Down he goes on strikes. Worth another look, certainly, what he did pull off.
Absolutely amazing. Paints the corner. Fastball on top. At running action. Nice job by Kurt Suzuki. The fist pump from Suzuki. Same thing from Iglesias. And the other, Iglesias ready to give him a high five coming into the dugout.
Our wonderful research team has a ridiculous graphic we're about to show you as it pertains to Iglesias. I mean, almost laughable. 22 consecutive inherited runners have stayed standing out on the bases. That's ridiculous. And as we've shared with you, to be fair to that number, some of it's luck. You can come in with an inherited runner, give up a lazy ground ball to short, and a run will score.
Yeah.
But wow, 22 in a row. Just got a piece of it from Seawald. No balls and 2 strikes to count on Taylor. His first at bat since coming on. Part of the double switch when Ohtani was removed from the game.
Seawald, a lot of sliders, 46%. Fastball is 91-95, but a lot of sliders.
There's a big base hit for Taylor Ward.
That's a nice piece of hitting. Went down and got a slider. I think it quite to the outside corner. Was a middle down and went down and hooked it in the left field. His reaction tells you he didn't get it where he wanted to throw it, and Taylor Ward made him pay for it. It's a big base hit. Gives Rendon a chance to swing with someone on base.
Rendon squares that one up. It knuckles on Kelenic, who recovers and makes a diving, sprawling play. He hit that one right on the nose, and because of it, Kelenic had it going one way, then another.
He's hit the ball hard a couple of times today for Anthony Rendon. Nothing to show for it. Gutsy play, too. If this ball hits the turf, it's a run and a triple for Rendon.
Hit that one 98 miles an hour. As far as how firm that was, again, squared it up. Taylor Ward's a single, triple digits as far as exit velocity, right at 100. Here's Jared Walsh.
to my Hyundai Key for the game today. Star of the show. There's been a lot of stars in this game going. Shohei Ohtani was excellent, 10 strikeouts in 6 innings. Upton with a 2-run home run. There's a Rojas with a home run. Raisel Iglesias, what a job in the 8th inning. Trying to hold on and beat this Seattle club.
Slider called a little bit low. 1 ball and 1 strike the count.
Definitely with Seawald, a lot of breaking balls and pitches on the inner half. That's the pitch that Walsh can hook down the right field line and see how fast Ward can run around from first base. He's able to turn on one.
Again, Shohei Ohtani was so good. If you took your wife out for dinner or dropped the kids off at a friend's house and you missed the early stages, Patrick O'Neill will help you walk through what occurred in this game in our post-game show. But Shohei going 6, striking out 10. Full disclosure here, I think we were surprised to see him come out of the game. 76 pitches in 6 innings, but he was really good. Watson a scoreless frame. Mike Myers came in and created quite a mess that Raisel Iglesias cleaned up. Big reaction there. Seawald getting the strikeout. A 0 on the board. 3 huge outs to get.
How the Angels got here with all the moves they made. They have a
Meet Justin Upton. He's watching MLB Network.
Again, the lineup got deeper.
Because that's what baseball fans do.
They're deep. They're deep.
The ballpark is better when we're all here together. COVID-19 vaccines are safe and effective. Join the team and help us all get back to doing what we love together.
Raisel Iglesias wiggling off this hook.
Well, this is the determination to make quality pitch after quality pitch. You're getting a very good hitter. Kyle Seager to swing over top of a slider. Ty France, who's hit the ball well against the Angels all season long, takes a firm fastball on the outside corner for a call, 3rd strike.
And you were infused with energy, adrenaline. The challenge that is the bases loaded. You just don't want to allow yourself to have that letdown inning. So he goes to work a changeup, misses outside to the patient, Jake Fraley. They've managed to avoid walking him tonight, something he's done so well in his brief time in the big leagues. He struck out a couple of times and flied to right. Back-to-back changeups, 1-1 the count. Last September, St. Louis, last 6-out save. 2 outs to go.
Boy, a very dangerous, powerful hitter getting him out of that leadoff spot there in the 9th.
The 21-year-old now, Jared Kelenic. He's 0 for 3. Hitless in his last 32 at-bats. Change up, strike one. Fastball, strike two.
Right after with a 97-mile-an-hour fastball.
Kelenic hangs around, just got a piece of that changeup.
That's a great pitch.
"21 innings for Iglesias, 30 strikeouts. When you go back to the early stages in his career, he was a starter for the Reds at 25 years old 6 years ago. That'll do it with the changeup. Kelenic goes down. 1 out to go.
Well, I'll tell you what, when he has those secondary pitches going, especially his changeup, it's an electric changeup. Raisel Iglesias.
Jose Godoy gets the call. Started behind the plate last night. Flew open, let that changeup sail high. 1-0 the count. 26-year-old longtime minor league catcher from Venezuela. Two changeups miss.
Let's refocus. Pace has been great.
Fastball, he does refocus at 96. Outside, he shook to the fastball, missed with it. Seeking career save number 116. Raisel gets a swing and a miss and a change. 1 strike away. That'll do it. What a win tonight for the Halos. Now that's how you celebrate a Friday night at the Yard. Angels 3, Mariners 2, ball game.
Darren, that was about as gutsiest performance as I've seen in a long time for a closer coming in with the bases loaded, no out, momentum Seattle's way. What a job by Iglesias. Wow.
He's got to be the Toyota player of the game. Ridiculous what he did.
Oh, I mean, fastball 97 to finish it off, and his energy level, he's ready to go tomorrow already. I guarantee you. He was very efficient, too, in those 6 outs. And a smile from Kurt Suzuki. By the way, Shohei Ohtani gets the W. What a job he did tonight. What a game.
Shohei was outstanding. He struck out 10 in 6 innings. The offense certainly did just enough. A 2-run homer, Justin Upton was key. Rojas, Jose with the solo shot as well. That's it. Iglesias was magical. The 8th inning, the bases were loaded. Mike Myers, as we said, had struggled. He came on, bases loaded. 3 consecutive outs, all runners stranded. Iglesias, amazing.
Absolutely outstanding. You talk about 3+ pitches. That energy coming off the mound. I don't know how you recoup and go back out there and do what he did in the 9th inning after finishing off. What a job that was by Raisel Iglesias, his 10th save of the season.
Raisel is ready. He is going to speak with Jose Mota. Guys, you have the floor.
Raisel, te felicitamos. Congratulations, outstanding outing. ¿Qué pasa por tu mente cuando llega una situación así, bases llenas, octava entrada, no outs? What goes through your mind when you come into that situation there, 8th inning, bases loaded? How do you slow everything down? ¿Cómo calmas todo?
Bueno, primeramente me caracterizo por ser un lanzador bien eléctrico. Me gusta la adrenalina, me gusta esos momentos así de hombre en tercera sin out, hombre en segunda sin out, el empate, juego pegado. Y esa es la manera que me caracterizo para lanzar.
First, I characterize myself as a pitcher that loves coming into any situation. Doesn't matter with runners on base. I love the adrenaline, and I live for it.
You also have the ability to change angles. You mentioned recently that you actually looked at tape from your national team in Cuba because you need to change angles on your arm. How important is that to you? Comentaste recientemente de que tenías que ver y cambiar ángulos en tu brazo, viendo videos de tus días con el equipo nacional de Cuba. ¿Qué tan importante es eso para ti?
Bueno, al principio me sentía un poquito, ¿sabes? Como conociendo un poquito lo que es el cambio, el estadio, adaptarme al sistema aquí en Los Ángeles, y entonces busqué las características de ver mis videos cuando lanzaba con el equipo nacional, cuando estaba con el otro equipo Cincinnati, y entonces esa es una de las cosas que me ha ido ayudando en estos momentos.
I definitely had to go back to some of the videos in the past. I felt the difference here with the new team, new league. So just watching some of those old videos kind of make me settle down, go out there and attack.
Hey, big win. The fans play a big part here tonight. How much did you feed out those fans and every throw you gave them for every single pitch? ¿Cuánto te entusiasmaste, te energizaste con los fanáticos que te dieron tanto respaldo en esta noche?
No, me siento muy contento. La fanaticada me ha apoyado mucho. Eso es una de las cosas que más me ha ido acostumbrando, me ha ido adaptando. El apoyo de los fanáticos es muy importante para un lanzador cuando está lanzando en la lomita y más en estas situaciones, y me siento muy contento. Gracias a los fanáticos por el apoyo y gracias al equipo y en general al mundo entero.
I love the fans here, the energy they bring to the game every day, their confidence they give us as players. Keep the energy going.
Raisel, Ángel, gracias, bendiciones.
Gracias, igualmente.
Thank you.
Raisel Iglesias, what a thrill, my goodness, fitting out for those fans. And Shohei Ohtani got it all started. Big win, big home runs, Angels live, Patrick O'Neill, Darren, Gooby. Let's break it all down as we come back with Angels live. Long ball, small ball, great pitching, and what a thrilling finish from the Cuban El Ciclón.